What's shaking, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Gardner Oat, founder and CEO of GEMS Intercontinental, an abbreviation for Gardner's English Mastery School Intercontinental, where we speak and learn English the practical and conversational way. Well, I'm back again with another exciting episode on talking about yourself, and to be very specific, I have prepared detailed slides on how to talk about your hobbies and interests. So without wasting much time, let's dive in. In my free time, I really enjoy playing football and staying active. Now, this particular phrase works because it is simple, natural, and gives both the activity and a bit of personality. Now, you use this particular phrase when introducing yourself in a casual conversation or whenever you're meeting new people, and make sure that you slightly emphasize the word really enjoy to sound more genuine and enthusiastic. Let's get to the next one. One of my favorite hobbies is reading, especially personal development books. Now, this particular phrase works because adding a specific category makes your answer more engaging and less generic. You use this particular phrase when you want to sound thoughtful or intellectual in conversations, and make sure that you pause briefly before the specific example to make it stand out. Let's get to the next one. I'm really into photography these days. I love capturing everyday moments. Now, this particular phrase works because the word these days makes your speech full, or rather feel current and dynamic. Alright, so make sure that you use this particular phrase in casual conversations or when talking about current interests, and you actually use a slight excited tone to reflect genuine interest. Let's get to the next one. I usually spend my weekends exploring new places or trying out different restaurants. Now, this particular phrase paints a picture and makes your answer more relatable. You use it whenever you're describing your lifestyle or your weekend habits. Make sure that you use a relaxed tone to sound natural and conversational. Let's get to the next one. I have recently developed an interest in learning new languages. Now, this particular phrase shows growth and curiosity, which makes you more interesting. And you actually use it when you're talking about something new that you have started. So make sure that you stress recently to highlight that it's a new journey. Let's get to the next one. I enjoy working out. It helps me stay focused and energized. Now, this particular phrase works because adding a reason makes your response more meaningful and complete. And you actually use it when you're explaining your hobbies with a benefit. So make sure that you say it slightly slow, alright? In what we call a slightly slow pace. Or in other words, you can slightly slow down when explaining the benefit for emphasis. Let's get to the next one. I'm quite passionate about music. I listen to it almost every day. Now, this particular phrase works because the word passionate adds emotional depth to your statement, and you actually say it, or rather you use it when expressing strong interest in something, and actually you say it. This is how you actually say it. You let your tone reflect the passion so that you do not sound flat. Let's get to the next one. In my spare time, I like to watch documentaries and learn something new. Now, this phrase shows curiosity and a learning mindset. And you use it, or rather you say it, in semi-formal or intellectual conversations. And make sure that you keep your tone calm and thoughtful. Let's get to the next one. I have always enjoyed cooking. It's something I find very relaxing. Now, the word always enjoyed adds history and personality, and you actually use this particular phrase when talking about long-term hobbies. So you say it while using a reflective tone to make it sound personal. Let's get to the next one. Lately, I've been spending a lot of time on creative writing. Now, this particular phrase works simply because it makes your answer feel fresh and relevant, and you use it when discussing current habits or new routines that you've developed. So make sure that you slightly emphasize on the word creative to make it more engaging. Let's get to the next one. I'm the kind of person who enjoys outdoor activities like hiking and cycling. Now this phrase connects your interests to your identity, and you use it when describing your personality through hobbies. And make sure that you speak confidently, all right, simply because this reflects self-awareness. Let's get to the next one. I like to unwind by watching movies or listening to music. Now, the word unwind adds emotional context and sounds natural. You use this particular phrase when talking about relaxation habits. Make sure that you use a soft, relaxed tone. Let's get to the next one. I've been getting into fitness lately. It's been a great experience so far. Now, this phrase shows progress and positivity, and you say it when discussing a new habit or lifestyle change. You use a soft, relaxed tone, and you add a slight smile in your voice when you're saying great experience. So let's get to the next one. One thing I really enjoy doing is spending time with family and friends. Now this phrase works because it highlights emotional intelligence and social connection. And you say it, or rather you use it when you want to sound warm and relatable. Make sure that you slow down slightly to make it sound sincere. Let's get to the next one. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I really enjoy painting. This phrase shows humility and authenticity, and you use it, or rather you say it when talking about a hobby that you're still learning. So you say it using a light, modest tone. Let's get to the next one. I spend quite a bit of time reading about business and personal growth. Now, this phrase positions you as growth-oriented and very intentional. So you use it in professional or networking conversations, and you actually say it, or rather you speak clearly and confidently to reinforce credibility. Let's get to the next one. It started as just a small interest, but now it's something I truly love. Now this phrase works because it adds storytelling, which makes conversations more engaging. You say it when telling the story behind your hobby, and you use a slightly expressive tone to show progression. Let's get to the next one. Whenever I get the chance, I like to travel and experience new cultures. This phrase shows openness and curiosity about the world, and you say it when talking about aspirations or lifestyle. Make sure that you emphasize whenever I get the chance to sound natural. Let's get to the next one. I find it really rewarding to learn new skills in my free time. This particular phrase highlights motivation and self-development, and you say it when discussing personal growth hobbies. And make sure that you use, or rather you slightly stress the word rewarding to add emotional weight. And to the last phrase for the day. Honestly, I could spend hours doing it. I just enjoy it that much. Now this phrase sounds natural, expressive, and relatable. So you use it when you're expressing strong enthusiasm for a hobby. And make sure that you add a small laugh or a smile to make it feel authentic. Well, up to that point, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on this episode. Make sure that you practice and leave a comment on the comment section. I'll be more than happy to get back to you. Thank you so much for your time, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.